Hello, welcome everybody back to another DashFight guide with yours truly, VideoGamezYO. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. I hope you've had a great rest of this intense COVID season we've been having. And I hope you're ready for another guide. This time it's going to be on offense. Thank you for all the feedback on my defense guide that you guys submitted in the comments. Very, very much appreciated. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. Very happy to be making another guide for the lovely people at DashFight. So before I start, be sure to follow them on all their socials, and yeah, strap in and let's get in there. So to start things off, ladies and gents, we're going to be going over the simple and very effective ways of opening up your opponent. Since this is an offense guide, I'm going to be going through every way you can possibly open up your opponent. As you can see here, we've got Scorpion blocking, and I've tagged some moves on the screen here. Now, the first one here is short hop 1 or 2. So that's short hop square or triangle or X and Y with your respective platforms. This is an overhead, and as you can see, Scorpion is blocking high. So he's standing and he's blocking it. So he blocks the overhead. However, if I do a sweep, which is back 4, he gets hit. So this is a low. So if he's stand blocking and I do a low, he gets hit by it. But if I do an overhead, he blocks it. He also blocks highs, and he also blocks mids if he is stand blocking. Another thing, again, if he's stand blocking, he also gets hit by the low. However, if I make him crouch block, like so, he will now be hit by the overhead, but he will block the low. So that is the true basic mind game here, is especially with a character like Sub-Zero specifically, who has an overhead built into his kit. So if you're crouch blocking, you'll get hit by overheads. If you're stand blocking, you'll get hit by lows. But with both blocks, you will block mids, for example, like this. Something else to note, which I've also listed here, is that you will be opened up by throws as well if you are blocking high or low. As you can see there, he's blocking low. I'm going to make him block high for a second. He also gets thrown. Now, to make sure that you don't get thrown, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to just crouch without holding block. As you can see there, the throw whiffs. So you have to be wary of that. So when mixing up your offense, you have to take into account whether someone's going to just neutral crouch, like so. Another way to avoid the throw is a jump or a short hop. Basically any frames where you're not on the ground or you're not going to make your hitbox larger by holding block will avoid a grab. If you're blocking in any capacity, the grab will hit you. And just to reiterate, if you're high blocking, you're going to be hit by lows, and if you're low blocking, you're going to get hit by overheads. So for this next portion, we're going to be going over more about the throw game, as this is a very, very important aspect of MK11. This game is very, very strike throw based. So we're going to be going over that in a bit more detail. So essentially, what a lot of characters have in this game is something called an auto shimmy. Now, an auto shimmy, if we're going to just take the word apart, auto shimmy. A shimmy, traditionally in fighting games, is something where you bait your opponent with movement, and then they reactionarily, that's a long word, press a button. So what would normally happen is, if I move forward and back, my opponent would be like, oh, he's going to grab me, so he's going to press tech. So let's say I'm Scorpion, and I record Scorpion blocking for a minute, pressing, like so. That would be a shimmy. That wasn't a punish in that regard, but this would be a shimmy, something like this. Since this is recorded, obviously it's a bit slower, but something like this would typically be a shimmy, like that. See the counter hit pop up there. And then obviously you get a full combo, and then happy days, right? But this is obviously still applicable in MK11. You can still do things like this. However, there are things called auto shimmies, where essentially what's happening is your opponent is blocking, and then you approach them with a string that resembles a throw, so like something like this. And because the second hit of this string is so fast, if they try and tech a grab or let go of block or mash or anything like that, they will be opened up by it. So if I put Scorpion on block, on random attack, I put him on stance hold, like so, Sometimes he'll get opened up. And sometimes he... Like that. That one right there. So he blocked the first hit, then got opened up by the second and third hit. Now that is what we call an auto shimmy, because as the defender, you're thinking he's going to throw you. So you try and take a throw. However, he's doing the auto shimmy. And the thing about Sub-Zero is that he has moves like Creeping Ice, down back 4. That will make his auto shimmy do a lot more damage, and it's safe. There's a lot, and there's other characters like Johnny Cage, for example, who have safe auto shimmies that lead into quite a bit of damage, which are hit confirmable. Scorpion does not have one himself, but there are a lot of characters in this game. Cassie, for example, she also has one. Baraka, Noob, that look like throws and open up opponents that are going to be teching. However, if your opponent is aware that the character you're playing has an auto shimmy, they can just block. However, that's when grabs come into play. That's when you throw. And obviously you can mix up both throw directions, and then you have the Crushing Blow mind game on top of that. So Crushing Blow throws, not all of them, but most are achieved by getting an escape failed. I will talk more about that in the next section when we're going to be talking about risk reward. But yeah, so that is the basis of the throw game. Just to reiterate, you've got your auto shimmy, which looks like a throw, which will open up opponents that are trying to tech. And by tech, I mean escape the throw. Ducking will avoid throws, jumping will avoid throws, short hopping will avoid throws, as I mentioned. 2 tech a throw, obviously you have to do 1 or 2 with the respective direction. 2 for forward throw, 1 for back throw. And essentially what you're going to want to be doing with your throw game is trying to enforce a shimmy or a throw, and then enforce the direction of said throw when you get the chance to do that. So now we're going to be getting into a very important section, which is risk reward. And something that a lot of people are very, very confused about when it comes to this game. Now, there are a lot of things in this game that give you a lot of reward for very, very minimal risk. And as I was just talking about the throws are something that give you quite small reward for very high risk in this game. So when you're trying to mix up your offense and you go for a throw, you have to be wary of that. No matter what character you are, even Jackie with her really oppressive mids, you have to be wary that if someone decides to throw, right, there's always a risk that they're going to take. And that risk is very, very big. So as the aggressor, you have to be very wary of that. The defender, however, has a tool, down 2. Now, if I record Scorpion here to throw me, as you can see, down 2 Crushing Blow. And I get a launch, if I could do the combo correctly. As you can see, that is a lot of damage. I dropped the combo, but the point still stands, right? I can duck and do that, and then get loads of damage that way. So as you can see here, Scorpion is taking a massive risk. There you go. And if Scorpion actually does successfully grab me, he gets 13% and I'm sent all the way over here. So as you can see, the risk reward is very much in Sub-Zero's favor, or basically the person that is the defender in the situation where a grab is coming. However, obviously you have things to mask that in auto shimmies and overheads if you're Sub-Zero, or lows, to make people not want to duck. Short hop, which I mentioned earlier, and just running in and delaying the throw, of course. But you have to always be wary that every character in MK11 has a down 2 by default at the start of every game. So they always have something that can really punish a throw, no matter how good your mids are, you know, Liu Kang, Jackie, etc. Johnny and how good his shimmy is. Sub-Zero with his overhead low game. Sub-Zero has a very good throw game, by the way, which I have mentioned. But yeah, you always have to be wary of that. I've said the word wary a lot, but you guys get what I'm talking about. Another thing we have to talk about as well is jumping. Now, that ties in very nicely to risk reward, because they introduced something called the jump kick option select. And basically, as in simple terms, what that is if you do a jump kick and then input the special that you want to do afterwards, on block it won't come out, but on hit it will. So here's an example. I just input jump kick. As you can see on my inputs there, I did jump kick and then back forward 3, which is cold shoulder. Now, if Scorpion is blocking here, as you can see, my inputs are the same, but it's not come out. As like, see that? There is nothing coming out. However, the second I put him off of block, cold shoulder comes out. Now, this is a very, very effective offensive strategy, as it's safe. You know, it's safe. Jump kicks are very oppressive, and they're very safe, and it's very minimal risk yet high reward, especially with a character like Sub-Zero. If you have Slide, Cold Shoulder as well, like I'm showing you now, does very good damage, 23%. But Slide obviously builds up your crushing blow. It's very, very consistent. Some characters can get fatal blow off of this, like Liu Kang or Jackie. And like I said, to do this, just do your jump kick and input the move before the jump kick comes out. If the jump kick is blocked, you won't get the move and you'll be safe. If the jump kick hits, you'll get your move, you'll get your damage, you'll get your knockdown, and then you can continue your offense. So for the final section of the guide, we're going to be talking about movement. Now, you guys know me, I love me some movement, and I've picked a character here that has very good movement. And I think movement is very important for offense because it puts you into the positions you want to be in. You know, as you know, characters with really fast wave dashes like Sub-Zero, for example, can get in and close distance very fast. And for example, if you're against a zoner or just you want to close the gap because you have a life deficit, you can just close the gap and then press, you know. If you were to just walk in this situation, it would take much longer to achieve your hit. But if you were to wave dash, for example, like so, you get in much closer, close that gap much faster, and can press and apply your offense at a much quicker rate than if you were to just walk. And also wave dashing is very safe in that you can just block because you're pressing the block button while you're dashing. So if someone you know tries to attack you while you're doing this, like if Scorpion teleports, or if he has a down 4 or a back 3, or just he does anything, forward 3, back 1, you can block while you're dashing because that's obviously in the inputs. You're doing forward block, forward block, forward block, so you can obviously block those attempted attacks on you. Something else that really helps with movement is obviously jumping. Jumping, like I mentioned in the previous section, you got your jump kick OS. But the other thing about jumping is that it obviously avoids certain things, and there are jump-ins like Subs Jump 1, which are also very good for initiating offense and combo on hit, and you can hit confirm these. For example, you see it hit, boom, 2-1 ice ball, boom, there's your damage. So be sure to mix up all of your movement options as much as possible. This includes ducking if you see highs, backdashing if you think that someone's going to attack and you can then whiff punish the attack that they do after you backdash, jumping to obviously get over projectiles and just be oppressive with your good jump ins if you have some, because most characters in this game do. And then you've got your wave dashing to obviously close the gap very fast and try and apply your offense and try and catch your opponent off guard essentially. With that being said, guys, that's going to be the end of the offense guide. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, I want to see Yellow Ninja in the comments. That'd be great if you guys could put that. I don't know where I get these from, I really don't. But yeah, thank you so much for watching it. Like I said, be sure to follow all of DashFight's socials. Be sure to let me know what you thought about the guide, if there's anything I could add, if there's any questions you have for me. You could also, you know, DM me on Twitter at VideoGamezYO if you'd like to ask me a question personally, or if you just want to ask in the comments, that is all okay too. But yeah, like I say, thank you so much for watching once again. Be safe. I'll see you in the next guide. Adios.